Zeidoktor here, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is dedicated to One Piece, Chapter 855, or whatever sound of a grumbling stomach you want here, you prefer. Our cover page here is a young Law with Corazon, with Corazon trying to feed a dog some sweet potatoes, or cooked potatoes anyway, unaware that his mantle, his cloak, is on fire. Law is always like, oh crap. The chapter itself begins with soldiers approaching Lord Bobbin. What in the world was that? I heard some crazy noise from over here. This hole in the wall. We're seeing Big Mom Pirate Soldier Bishop, Bobbin the Fixer, bounty 105.5 million berries. But before anyone can question things further, Bobbin puts him to sleep. Also noteworthy is that he's not Charlotte Bobbin, so he's not one of Big Mom's children. He's just a servant, or one of the commanders, crew members. But anyway, everybody around him falls asleep. He's like, nothing to worry about. Stand down. I will fix this. As Sanji's running out of the castle and running through the city, he's like, even hell's demons make appearances at Mama's tea parties. In the mirror world, we have our mirror gang has found their way to Big Mom's own mirror, and they're kind of freaking out. Kara's like, "What do we do?" Well, first things first. I'm glad he's alive. Nami's noting that she's gigantic. Chopper's noting that that's one of the four emperors, like Big Mom, and we see her in bed with holding Brooke like a little teddy bear, with Zeus acting as the pillow. And Prometheus and Napoleon just kind of sleeping on top of her. They also noted that Brooke's asleep too. Like, I'm actually impressed he can sleep in that situation. Yeah. And Brulee's like, yeah, they straight bone creature like that. There's no way Mama would let him go free. But don't you worry, I'll get her to drop him quick enough. Mama, it's Brulee. Then they actually rough her up and gag her. They gagged Diesel too, for good measure. Fortunately, that did not wake her up. Or actually, no, I stand corrected. It did. Actually, her eyes are open. She's staring right at them, but she's actually more focused on the fact that there's a fly in the room. At which point he smashes into it. Broke it. What in the world is happening? What the? Oh, fly. Alright then. And as Big Mom is attacking, so too are her minions. Zeus and Prometheus do their thing with fire and lightning, and Napoleon the Hat turned into a sword. So that explains how he's a threat. Which leaves everybody just freaking out, like, how in the world are we supposed to save him? Like, everybody's like freaked out except for Jinbei's like looking stoic, probably because he already knew what to expect. Outside the castle, we see a dog attacking Sanji, trying to get to his food basket. Like, hey, down boy, this food ain't for you. And a little note here, that's actually a nice little callback to Sanji's flashback, where he had to fight a dog to take food to his mom. Back in the mirror world, they've created a little Brook duplicate. Like, they actually got some bones off of an execution site in the castle, and some seaweed in the kitchen standing for the afro. Chopper's like, I can't but see Brook when I look at it. So if we just switch this thing up for the real guy, I don't think she'll realize we snatched him from under her nose, probably. Yeah. So they begin actually trying to sneak Brooke out of there. Step one is putting Brulee half and half through the mirror. Like, just kind of half and half on the other side. You can just pass in and out as you please by touching her. Jinbei's and Brulee's like, I will remember you this. Chopper tries first. Like, Carrot's cheering him on. Be careful, Chobro! He's making good progress. Then he sneezes and has to get the hell out of there before they smash him. Nope, attempt number 2 is by Carrot. She jumps up and she tries to get away from him, but she gets knocked around by a sleep bubble from Big Mom, which ends up making the minions wake up thinking the fly is back. Step number three is by Pedro is thwarted by Mama's tossing and turning. But eventually but that one actually succeeds in getting to at least let go of Brooke. At this point, Nami charges in with the Brooke double. Like, Brooke, wake up! We have to save you. He wakes up, but unfortunately, okay, I never realized this before. She wakes up Brooke, and he wakes up to see Nami, but then he also sees the Brooke double behind her and starts screaming about a ghost. Okay, I confess I missed that the first time I read that part. That's what he focused on. Right. At this point, Big Mom is like, "Are you still here? You're a bloody persistent fly." And she actually grabs Prometheus. Fortunately, Zimbei steps in this time to grab Nami and Brooke and get the hell out of there. The fake Brooke is left behind, but they've got the real one with them now. In the outskirts of Sweet City, out in the rain, Sanji's seen the guys Luffy beat earlier. It's like he's thinking to himself like, this is where they came to find you, and you sure did go crazy. He's also remembering the eggplant guy telling him that, well, we have Straw Luffy and Cat Burglar Nami restrained, but didn't you say you'd be waiting for me here? Where are you? He's actually calling out, trying to find him. Back in the mirror world, Brooke's like, "You surprised me. That was the last thing I was expecting. You surprised us, for crying out loud. Why did you scream? We almost died." Pedro's like, "With all that aside, I'm very glad to see you alive. I thought I was going to die. I'm already dead." And Pedro laments that the fact that he set up the security net means it must have been impossible to get a rubbing of the road poneglyph. But no matter, it was an impossible task. I'm sorry to put you all in danger. Oh no, not at all. This was for us in the first place. As you said, because we snuck in with just the two of us, this was a once-in-a-lifetime chance. If we ever end up having to steal a poneglyph from Big Mom again, I doubt we'd ever be able to without a full-scale pirate war. At this point, Brooke opens up his skull to Jinbei and Carrot's utter shock. And he pulls out the paper, which he hands to Nami and says, "Here you are, the rubbing." Anyway, as I was saying, I'm glad to see that you too are alive. Well, Nami, Chopper, and Carrot are just freaking out and starts unfolding the paper Brooke just gave them. We definitely were backed into a corner there. I couldn't think of anything other than a decoy plan either. Wait a minute, Brooke. What are these? Don't tell me these pieces of paper. Huh? Oh, yeah, the rubbings of the poneglyph. Let me tell you, I only managed to get them by the skin of my teeth. The very moment I had finished rubbing the last one, Big Mom of all people showed up, and so you actually had them, even with their commanders there and everything. The poneglyphs that the other emperors want nothing more than to get their hands on. You actually got them? Yeah. Brooks is so nonchalant about this. While Brule and D's like, they stole the poneglyphs? And well done, Brooke. Jinbei knows that not even family is so easily given entry into the Hall of Treasures. What a guy. Oh, so do you think you can show me your panties then? And it gets him smacked. Like, bone-shatteringly smacked. Though, in fairness to Brooke, if he was ever going to succeed at any point, this would have been it. So, good try. Good try, buddy. Chopper notes that that's one objective down. Now all they've got to do is get Sanji. And that's being taken care of elsewhere. As in the midst of the battlefield, Sanji starts hearing a large, loud growling noise. The moment he follows it, he just sits there with a big old smile on his face. We see Luffy. And he's definitely been looking better. Like people say he looks emaciated. I don't really see that, but still. He's there, and it's he's obviously been. You can tell he's been weak. He's gotten weak there, and that is where the chapter ends. And not quite sure there's anything really to go into really in depth other than Brooke. Holy hell, Brooke, dude! I mean, a lot of people were already predicting that he had the poneglyphs papers rubbings in his skull, so not a giant shock there, but still. The fact that he actually did pull it off, and what I love it in hindsight is like when you look back on it, it's he actually acted like he hadn't gotten them. Like he was still saying like, even if I had to try, because even if we failed and all that stuff, I don't know if he was doing it on purpose to throw Big Mom off, but either way, it made it sound like he never actually got the poneglyphs. So as of right now, the Straw Hat Pirates have obtained 2 of their 4 road poneglyphs, and have a person who can read them, and thanks to Nami, a person who can possibly get them to the place when the time comes. So they are literally the closest people to becoming Pirate King right now, or closest people to Raftel. And Brooke is so nonchalant about that, dude. Like, he's just treating it like offhand stuff, while he's talking about like, oh, dude, let me just tell you how crazy shit got. And one thing I want to kind of bring up in particular here is Chopper. Like, nothing he does particularly in this chapter, but it occurred to me this week that Chopper did something he's done before. Like, he did this in Thriller Bark. Or at least in the Oars fight in particular. He took something that was actually a very minor victory, or a very minor achievement. Like, there it was autopsying Oars midway through the fight. Here it was defeating Brûlée and her minions. And they have turned it into pretty much a game-breaking advantage. And it's turned into like the critical advantage they need to succeed. Because thanks to Brûlée, they can pretty much have full run of the castle and nobody can get to them. I mean, and then Brooke has actually pulled that off, and Nami hasn't had much yet, but the fact that she had the Vivre card did kind of change things around and keep them alive longer than it might have otherwise. So I do love the fact that we're seeing like the less battle-prone Straw Hats definitely getting a lot of good achievement and screen time going here. But yeah, that was one thing I always liked about Chopper's contribution to that fight, and thus this fight here in this arc. Like, he hasn't done anything like super big, but what he has done has been absolutely critical. That I love that. Let's see here. And like I said, we got this fight chapter ending with Sanji and Luffy like on there. I'm actually wondering, will Sanji still try to go back to the wedding? Like, he's gonna feed Luffy. He definitely wants to go back. I mean, that's kind of where he's at now. But I wonder if he's got some kind of new plan in mind. Like, if he's gonna go back with some extra scheme or plan in mind. Because I think he's past the point where he's actually gonna just give in and let himself be killed. The only big worry here is Zeph. I wonder now if he's thinking of save the Vinsmokes and use that to cancel any hit on Zeph or anyone else close to him. That seemed the most logical thing that I could think of. But One Piece is not a source of logic, so that could go either way. Alright, so I think at this point I'm going to go ahead and call my review for this week. That's again been One Piece, chapter 855. Or whatever growling noise you prefer. This week we also have My Hero Academia and Attack on Titan. Big little achievement in Attack on Titan too. Well, big achievement, I should say. So that'll be out here too. Keep an eye out for those, and until next time, see you later. Bye-bye.